everybody. Glad to be seeing you again. And to my new subscriber, uh, well, welcome to my channel. I appreciate it. Um, Today I wanted to talk to you about Child's Play from 1988, the first Child's Play, directed by Tom Holland, which is, I think, the same director that made Fright Night. I think my favorite vampire movie. Yeah, I think my favorite vampire movie. Um, Now you've got the writer Don Mancini, who basically wrote all of the. I think he wrote all of the Alien, Child's Play, and then the Chucky movies, and he is writing the series, the new series that's now on, what's on Netflix or something. I'm not sure on which. I saw a few episodes, but I'm not a big Child's Play. I'm not a big Chucky fan. It's actually just like the first three, the Child Play ones. When the moment, because from the fourth one with Chucky, the Bride of Chucky, it becomes comedy horror, and I'm not a big fan of comedy horror. Now I'm gonna review later a movie that's comedy horror that's so good that let's say if I would pick a top 5 list of comedy horror, this one comes at the first place. Like Shaun of the Dead also is one of those ones that I like, but this one takes the pick that I'm gonna keep for a another review. Now you got Catherine Hicks, who plays Karen Barkley, the mom from Andy Barkley, played by Alex Vincent. He also returns in the Cult of Chucky, and he returns in the series. Basically, he's a good actor. He was a good actor as a kid, but as an adult, he can't act for shit, in my opinion. He really can't act for shit. It's weird. It's weird acting. Brad Dourif as Charles Lee Ray, of course, nicknamed Chucky, is just the best. I mean, Brad Dourif, for some reason, he can do these serious roles, but if Brad Dourif gets angry, he gets this weird. He really gets angry, vicious almost, like stupid, like screaming, and I can't I can't do it like him. It's just fucking creepy how he gets so angry. And you got Chris Sarandon also in Fright Night as a vampire, but playing Detective Norris. He's somewhat the one who believes Andy in it. So what happens is basically Andy wants a good guy's doll. Okay, a good guy's doll, and it's Chucky, right? But the movie starts with a big chase where Eddie Caputo, Charles Lee Ray's partner, is waiting for him, but he's hearing the police, and he drives away. And Chucky, let's say Chucky, sees this, and he says, "You fucking bastard!" He goes into a toy store to hide, because Chris Randon is just behind him, and he shoots Chucky a few times, almost dead, just not dead enough to take a doll, and doing the spell, the voodoo spell, Ade Due Dembella, give me the power, I beg of you, and then I don't know the entire chant, and he basically puts his soul into this doll and he dies there and on the scene. Okay, so we go for the story begins basically. That's done and done. Okay, now Andy wants a doll. He gets a present from his mom, Karen, and it's basically like a good doll's play set, but it's not the doll itself. The doll itself is pricey, and they're a single mom. She's working as a cashier. She has an apartment. She has bills to pay, but of course, Andy really wants the doll. Like a kid, when he wants something, wants something, then he's gonna want it. And eventually she finds Karen's friend. Don't know what her name is. She comes into play later on. Um, she says there's a guy in the back alley who's selling a good guy's doll for just like $60 or something. Yeah, for an amount that's reasonable. Okay, she goes to him. He also later comes in play again. She sells him the doll, and he says, and eventually, Andy gets what he wanted, the doll, Chucky. He immediately starts talking and says, "Hi, I'm Chucky. Will you be my friend?" And here he's sleeping with the doll. He's doing this with the doll, doing this with the doll, and at some point he's always whispering to the doll, and the mom's coming into the door, and she thinks, "Are you talking to someone?" "Oh, I was talking to Chucky, because he wants to see the news. He wants to stay up to see the news." But she says, "You have to go to bed, Andy. It's your time to sleep." "But Mom, he wants to see the news." And eventually, at some point, she's in the kitchen and she sees the television go on, the news, and you see Chucky sitting there in a chair. And she goes to Andy's room and says, "I told you to just go to sleep." So, okay. First sign, right? Because Tom Holland wanted to be this, he actually wanted this movie to be a whodunit sort of style. And he didn't wanted us to immediately know if Chucky is alive or is it Andy doing the killing, because at some point the friend of Karen is babysitting for her, and at some point she gets, somebody's on the counter, and she basically gets a hammer to the head, and she falls out of the window. They are living on the top floor, so she crashes to her death, and the police get involved. So they see the footprints of the good guy's doll, and Detective Norris, Chris Sarandon, is there, and he wants to see the feet of Andy, but he doesn't have flour on it, but the good guy's doll has flour on it. So he's thinking that Andy may use the good guy's doll while he's killing. So that is somewhat crazy, and makes up a story and uses the good guy's dolls as an excuse to kill. Now, he of course doesn't. I mean, he's somebody that is rational, and he wants to. It's not enough to say, "I'm gonna lock him up" and things like that. He doesn't want to do that because he's the good cop. He wants to be sure. But then, of course, something happens that I think Tom Holland sort of. I mean, there he already basically let us know basically say that Chucky's the killer. Okay, even then they're not saying it, but the doll says, "Go to Eddie Caputo's house." Okay, they have to take the train. They have to they go through a dodgy neighborhood. He's carrying the doll. He's sitting on a bench, and then you see someone in the POV style going to a house, and Eddie Caputo is living there, and Caputo hears something, and he takes like a Colt Python, a big revolver gun, big revolver, and he, for some reason, why he's doing that, it's so stupid. He opens the door, bam, immediately, without just checking what's in there. Second door, bam, without seeing. He's just doing that like 5 times, and the sixth time he does that, the the let's just say it's Chucky, of course. He is, the spoilers, yeah, right? Sorry to say that, but it is just Chucky. I mean, what would Andy's purpose is? What would be his purpose to go to this dodgy neighborhood all the way into the other side of town, and Eddie Caputo? What's his link? It's Charles Lee Ray, of course, want to kill his partner because he left him to die. So he puts on all the gases, so the gas from the furnaces and things like that. And of course, what Eddie did 5 times, he's doing it the 6th time. Bam! Boom! Explodes the house. That's the most stupid, idiotic move that he did. That he just opens the door without watching. He bams a bullet. Okay, easy. Now at this point, someone saw Andy near the Caputo house, and of course they've got an eyewitness, and they got some evidence, and now of course Andy is put to a sort of psychiatric syndrome for kids, and they're taking for a few weeks to check on him if he's normal in the head or something. And then of course Karen, she is on her own. The Detective Norris didn't want that, but the state wanted that, the Child Protective Services wanted that, and eventually she's doing and that's one of the best scenes in the movie. I've got like 2 or 3 best scenes in my opinion. This one is where she's basically sets the doll before her, and she's saying, "Talk to me. Talk to me. Talk to me, you bastard." And she checks the doll. She checks behind the doll. She opens the plaque where the battery should be, and she sees no batteries, and the head of Chucky goes like this: "Would you be my friend?" And she drops it, but it's not like she drops and rolls over under the chair. She drops it, and he rolls under the chair. So you already know, okay, this is going to be tense. She's gonna take the doll. You don't know what's gonna happen. The doll was all the time saying things without batteries, so you know there's something wrong. So she takes the doll's feet, one of his foot, and she tell me what you want from us. Tell me what you've done. I want you to tell me. and if you do not tell me, I'll burn you. She takes a match, and then I mean, this is the scene that Brad Dourif, and then the Chucky, the distortion in his face, that he gets those evil eyes, those evil teeth, and that no, he gets distorted almost in his face when he gets mad, and he's like, "You fucking cunt, you fucking bitch, who do you think you are? I'm gonna kill you, I'm gonna fucking strangle you, you fucking bitch," and he's like swearing and biting in her ear, and she lets him go. Of course, he goes away. Um, that scene, that was a really tense scene, because he knew that something was gonna happen. You already knew that Chucky was alive, because Eddie Caputo's kill wasn't okay. The babysitter could be killed by Andy, but the Eddie Caputo kill, no way. Uh, he first goes after Chris Randon, Detective Norris. So what happens is he's in the car of Detective Norris, and he has a knife, and he starts. He gets the knife to towards his saying towards his neck. He's saying hello, and he eventually he goes with the car like this and this, and he's stabbing the between the seat, that he goes like this, and that he's steering with his legs like this, and I mean it's and then eventually he flips the car, and Chucky comes at him. That's a cool shot, because he's got that roar, that, and then with the knife, and then he shoots him in the shoulder. He flies away, and he's gone, and just in time he saved himself from a early retirement. um, then we get to know that Chucky was into voodoo. That's how we, of course, transferred, the chant that he did. He goes to a guy that learned him the chant. Sorry. And that's also a really cool scene. So he's standing there, Chucky doll, evil, because he looks completely evil as he's evil. If it's Chucky, he has these piercing eyes and almost yellow teeth, and he looks like a socio. I mean, he looks creepy. He really looks creepy. The first time I watched this movie, I remember I was 15, maybe 14, 15, and that's also already a lot. And I actually, all the doll, and I bought myself a Good Guys doll, and I checked the bed, underneath the bed, all for weeks on end. I checked underneath the bed if there was a Chucky doll. It's so creepy. I remember the Predator had that effect on me too, because it was so creepy, that the Predator, and I always thought, is it over? Is it over? And it's of course that movie is gonna be reviewed soon, because that's probably one of my favorite sci-fi horror movies. Let's say, because I think it's a sci-fi horror movie. You can almost say it's a slasher movie, because the Predator is killing one by one. But this, of course, is also a slasher movie. Child's Play is a slasher movie. He kills basically one by one. But the cool thing is, he's with that voodoo master, and he's saying, "I got shot, and it hurt like a motherfucker. Hurt like a motherfucker. I got shot. How is that possible? I'm bleeding." And he says, "You've been too long in your body. If you're too long in a body, you become human again." And he says, how the fuck do I get human again? I want to be human again." he says, you have to cast your soul in the first person you reveal your identity to. And then he's laughing, like that laugh that he got, you know, that so something like this. The first book, it's a boy, it's a 8 year a 10-year-old boy, okay, that will be easy. And the guy says, the voodoo guy says, no, you will not do that, you're an abomination. He goes to another room. I think he wants to do something like herb, and then Chucky's standing there with a doll, and he says, I know you what you're doing. You're not gonna do what you wanna do. I'm gonna kill you. He takes the doll and cracks it, and you see the guy's leg going like crack. It's just the bones sticking. I mean, it's fucked up scene. And he cracks the arm, crack, and then takes the sort of a voodoo knife, and he slams the knife in his heart, and he's like bleeding out of his heart, and basically he gets killed. Now, before this happens, Chris Sarandon goes to Karen, and they go to, I think they both go to this voodoo priest, and he's just alive to tell them, get Andy safe. He will try to get him. He needs him to get his soul into him. Save him, and then he dies. So we know now that he has to save him. Okay. So everything is happening. Of course, he goes to the insane asylum or whatever for the kids. You know, the kid prison. You've got this doctor who is basically like, you know, electroshock therapy. In 1988, electroshock therapy, right? I mean, I seen One Bird Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, and they used electric shock therapy, you know, with the sponges and then in the head, and then lobotomies. That shit happened in real time, and I think in the 70s it happened, but in the 80s, late 80s. Okay, that's pretty cruel. Now, eventually, Chucky puts, you know, he tackles the doctor and puts the the electro band around his head, and just puts it on full force. He gets like whoa, whoa, and then smoke is coming out of his head, and he's electrocuted to death. He takes Andy. He goes to the apartment, and of course he's doing his Abe Due Dembella spell, and just in time, Chris Sarandon and Catherine Hicks, they come in and kick him off Andy, and he's of course pretty mad. He's like, you fucking assholes, you're gonna die, and this and that, and some things lead to another. I mean, I think Chris Sarandon gets a baseball to the head, and is knocked down. It's between Karen and Chucky for a while, and she manages to throw him in the fireplace, and seals the fireplace with this grit, and Andy is standing above him with a matchstick. He says, Andy, we're friends till the end. Fires Chucky's ass, and he's running around. Now the thing is, he's pretty resilient. I mean, he's pretty hard to kill, because at this point he's not dead yet. He gets shot a few times. His limbs get shot off. His head gets shot off, and then at some point, what happens is the Detective Norris's partner comes in, and he says, "This doll." He picks up the head. "This doll is doing the killing." Yeah, right. And then the arm with a piece of the body is grappling him, and he goes, "Oh fuck!" and they shoot him again through the heart, and you see blood spatting behind the wall, and then he's basically dead. It was, I think they needed to shoot him through the heart, but he was pretty resilient. Now, what did this movie? Okay, it's a slasher movie, and I'm a fan of the Child's Play trilogy. The second one, I'm gonna review that one. It's the best one. It's full tilt Chucky. We know it's Chucky. This one was more who done it, and halfway in the movie we know it's Chucky. Okay, the moment when Catherine Hicks is alone with him and she tries to get answers out of him. She knows he has no batteries and he's alive, and then he gets angry, and you know, then we know it's Chucky, right? And the second movie, we know it's Chucky from the beginning, but that one is basically, in my opinion, the second movie is gonna be Chucky on steroids. That's the ultimate Chucky movie. Third one, so I'm gonna do the third one too. Probably gonna wait with the other ones, because you got the Seed of Chucky, which is just horrible. I watched it once and it's horrible. I may for a review I may see it again, but for now it's gonna be the Child's Play series. So this movie has tension, like really tense moments, especially when Catherine is trying to get the doll to speak. That was a really tense moment. The gore isn't extreme. The only gore we get is like when he kills the voodoo master. It's pretty gore. It's gnarly kill. You see the leg just breaking and the bone almost sticking out. It's a gnarly kill. So that's the goriest scene we get, basically. Because Chucky doesn't kill a lot of people. He kills the voodoo master and the doctor that was, working on Andy, and that's it. That's the only two kills you get, and of course he kills Eddie Caputo, and he basically kills four people. Eddie Caputo, and then the friend of Karen, the babysitter. So yeah, it's a good movie. That's a good movie. The way I'm doing is because I know where this movie franchise goes to, and I don't like it. The comedy horror, the Bride of Chucky. It starts with the Bride of Chucky. It's the same like with the Freddy Krueger movies. The first two are serious movies. Then the third one starts with goofiness already, like it's prime time, bitch, and then puts the lady in with her head in the TV, and then in the fourth movie it just goes full tilt, like stupid, like meatball. What the head of somebody's a meatball and he's plucking it out. It's stupid. You have and with the Bride of Chucky, like the Seed of Chucky, he because he's made in China, he's like knows kung fu, and so stupid, and then and then when they're having sex in the Bride of Chucky, she says, "Are you wearing a condom?" Brittany, I think she's called. I'm full of plastic. I'm full of rubber. So the Bride of Chucky was an okay movie because it's something new, but after that, everything like the Cult of Chucky, the movie before the Cult of Chucky, I seen it too, which I did sort of liked. I don't know what the title of that movie was again. So you got the Seed of Chucky, which I hate. Then you've got with the girl in the wheelchair, and then you've got the Cult of Chucky. But I'm not sure what that one is. Fuck it, but in any case, Child's Play is a good movie. It's got great acting, great actors. It's got a capable director. It's one of the best in the series. It's not the best. The best is probably going to the second one, but let's say it's the second best. For me, it's the second best. But it's a really great slasher movie, unique slasher movie with a doll killer, and they did a great job because it's all practical. Chucky was a robot. It was not CGI or something. It was a robot. So kudos to the people who made the Chucky doll. I can't say anything bad about this movie, really. I can't say anything bad about this movie. This movie is really good. So watch it if you never watch it. I spoil it, sorry, but most of the times these movies that are probably reviewed to death, you'll come across a reviewer who reviews Child's Play and he spoils it too. So sorry. See you next time.